when you apply more than one transformation to a figure. You have 3 I can statements. I can predict the effect of a rigid motion on a given figure. I can explain why a transformation or a sequence of transformations is rigid or non-rigid. You guys defined what that is earlier this week. Rigid versus non-rigid, that was your assignment on Monday. You had a question here. How do you know if a transformation is rigid? Look at that, 16 of you still have it assigned. That is scary. 17 of you had done it. And finally, I can describe a sequence of transformations that will carry one figure onto another by giving a verbal description or by writing a rule. Vocabulary. Rigid transformation. A transformation that preserves segment lengths and angle measures. Examples, translations, reflections, rotations. All the transformations we've learned so far are rigid. Non-rigid, a transformation that changes the size or shape or both the size and shape. Example, a dilation. We haven't learned about this yet. You did learn about this in 8th grade though. We'll learn about it soon. Sequence of transformations. When 2 or more transformations are combined to form a new transformation, the result is called a sequence of transformations or a composition of transformations. I'm going to give you some time to work on these slides. You have a video. You have a problem that will be easily answered after you watch the video. Interactive slide. You can probably do this right away. Name the type of each rigid transformation shown. You have 3 pictures of a pre-image going to an image. Which one's a translation? Which one's a reflection? Which one's a rotation? You have to identify the transformation. A video. Drag and drop the icon. Drag and drop the icon. And then sequences of transformations in Delta Math. Now in student pace mode until 10:40. All right, guys, it is 10:40. So do me a favor and please come back to our Google Meet. I'm going to stop student pace for a little bit here. And we're going to go over the correct answers. I'm going to share some of your answers that you came up with that were correct. And hopefully help you on the ones that you got stuck on. All right, so for slide 4, triangle ABC is translated 9 units to the left and 3 units up to create triangle A prime, B prime, C prime. A translation is a rigid transformation, which means all 3 angles and the side lengths are preserved. They stay the same. So everything you see here is repeated here, which means that the correct answer is 8 units. This is a good explanation here. The distance is 8 units, as this was a translation, not a resize. The only thing that changed was positioning. The size of the shape did not change, so no distances changed. That's a great explanation. All right, slide 5. I needed you to type the name of each rigid transformation. There are 3 rigid transformations. It's the 3 we've learned about so far. We have rotations, we have reflections, we have translations. All right, and the correct order that you should have is that this is a translation. This is a image being a slide. Okay, it's moving 2 units to the right and then 5 units up. Every point does that. 2 to the right, 5 up, 2 to the right, 5 up. So when you slide it like that, it's a translation. Remember the SL in the middle, like a slide. This one is turning. The arrow shows you that it's turning. It's turning about the origin. This is a rotation, And then a reflection, we're reflecting over the y-axis. We flip it. Okay, the shape is flipped across a mirror line. And some of you guys put in a little more information. I like that, 90-degree angle rotation. That's good. You didn't have to put a direction because it's implied it's counterclockwise. I think someone else did write counterclockwise though, if I could find it back. So a lot of you did really well on this one. Video. Okay, so after that video, when you perform a sequence of transformations, then, depending on what ones they were, if they were all rigid, or if you threw one in there that was non-rigid, then something's going to be true here. So our sequence is a reflection, a rotation, and translation. Those are all rigid, which means that both angle measures and segment lengths are preserved. Okay, that one's not right. Right here. So both angle measures and segment length. C is the correct one. And then for 8, we have another sequence of transformations. A translation, that's rigid. A reflection, that's rigid. A vertical stretch, well, if you watch the video back on slide 6, a vertical stretch changes angles, changes side lengths. So correct answer here is D. Neither angle measures nor segment lengths are preserved. D is the correct answer. D. All right. So that is the end of your notes. We are going to put this back on student paste. So you can go back through. You can change any of your answers back to the correct answer. You can take some notes on these. Remember, your notes are going to be whatever's going to help you do best on the test. Your test is coming up, I think, in about, not next week, but the week after that. Okay? I get my 2 classes always confused, algebra and geometry. So for us, yes, so next week for us, we're just going to be doing a lot of review, practicing transformations. We'll have a practice test, and then the following week we'll have our unit test on all this transformation stuff. But your triad does end, next Friday. So you're not going to have another test on that triad grade. Just the stuff that, you have so far, and there may be 1 or more assignments next week added in because it's review. We'll see. But, if you guys are missing, where's this at? Missing assignments. Yeah. If you're missing anything, you got to get turned in by the 6th. Any assignment or participation assignment, those go to 0 if you don't get it done by the 6th. If it's a test, okay, you can still redo tests. That's something you're allowed to do to get your grade up. You have to, you want to like retake the last test, you need to somehow prove to me that you're ready to do that and get a better score. So you would do that by making sure all your assignments are complete, no missing assignments, and the ones that have to do with the test that we last took, you'd have to have preferably 100%, because HMH and Delta Math, you can go back in and you can do it over and over until you do get the 100%. I didn't go over the last slide with you guys. I'm just realizing that right now. So last slide, sequence of transformations. So in Delta Math, there is a new assignment. You only have to do it twice. This is a really cool assignment though. So I will open it up with you. We still have 4 minutes. I have to go find it. Composition. Here we go. So if you didn't make it this far, make sure you get in here and play with this. This is really cool. So it says to determine a series of transformations that would map figure P onto figure Q. Figure P is the pre-image, where figure Q is our image. All right. And then you get to try it out to see if it works. So if I want to go from here to here, you know, I don't know what I have to do. Maybe this is a rotation, I think. Maybe it's a rotation of how long, let's say 90 degrees counterclockwise. That's going to put me over here. Then maybe I got to slide it down. Okay, so translation, I don't know how far. Let's slide it down. Let's try 5 units and try it and see what happens. It's going to show you, and then either you're right or you're wrong. Oh, I got it right on the first try. I wasn't expecting to get it right on the first try, because if I didn't get it right on the first try, it's okay. You can go back and adjust it. So let's try another one. Okay, here we go. Determine series of transformations that would map U to V. We start at U, we end at V. How do I get there? Well, I don't know. So maybe it's another rotation. Maybe counterclockwise again. I would take this and put it over here. If I try that, I think I could just try one at a time too. Well, see, they line up that way. That's good. And now I got to translate it down. So again, I have a very similar sequence of transformations here. So how many units do I translate down? I can count. Any point should work, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Down 7. And try it. Okay, so you're going to have to complete 2 of these sequences. It's kind of trial and error until you can figure it out. Okay, for the shape mods game. So yesterday I gave